Hi, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and this is Prompter XL. Prompter XL is one of the newest products to join the Elgato family. Prompter XL is the follow-up to our award-winning Prompter, and like its predecessor, brings the tools from the professional broadcasting world to your home setup to help you deliver your content. So, before diving into the specifics of Prompter XL, in case this is your first time seeing any of our Prompter products, first, I wanted to briefly cover what a teleprompter is. Now, if you're already an expert in this, no worries, there are chapter markers in this video so you can skip ahead to the sections you're interested in. So, the goal of a teleprompter is to allow you to project your text in front of your camera lens so you don't have to look away to read your script. But you also don't want the camera to see the text. So, how does one achieve this? Well, the magic is in the beam splitter glass. The best way to explain this is like the one-way mirrors you see in interrogation room scenes in the movies. The cops can see into the interrogation room, but if you're in there, you only see a mirror. So this is kind of what beam splitter glass does. You essentially see a mirror while the camera just looks through the glass to look at you. And all you need to do is simply tilt that mirror to a 45-degree angle, and you can have a display which displays the text which will appear on the mirror. And bam, you have a teleprompter. So you see your prepared speech while your camera just sees you. And it'll look like you're looking through your speech directly into the camera's lens, ensuring eye contact. Since we launched Prompter in 2023, so many people have found it invaluable in their setups. Whether you're a YouTuber trying to deliver concise speech in your videos, or maybe you're a Twitch streamer who displays their Twitch chat on their prompter, letting you talk to chat while maintaining eye contact, or maybe you're a working professional who likes to maintain eye contact with your colleagues in a Zoom call. So many people have found great uses for their prompter, but a lot of you have had a request since 2023. You wanted bigger. Well, now you have bigger. Because Prompter XL is essentially everything you love about Prompter, but now in a larger size. So let's break down the design of Prompter XL first, and then we'll talk about who Prompter XL is for. So first, let's put our Prompter XL together and we can go over its design. First thing is, when you unbox your Prompter XL, you'll notice that the beam splitter glass is separate from the prompter body. We made Prompter XL's glass easily removable so you can easily clean both sides of the glass when needed, which is easy to do with the included cleaning cloth in the packaging. You may also notice that the display is also separate here. So now you might be looking for a tool to attach it, but don't worry because Prompter XL's display attaches via magnets. So you simply drop it on the magnetic platform and see it shift itself into the perfect orientation. It stays on secure, but it's also easily removable when you need to. The display here is a 15.6-inch 1080p display as opposed to Prompter's 9-inch 1024 by 600 display. So it's nearly twice the physical size of Prompter and is over 3 times the resolution. It also reaches a higher max brightness. And with all of this, Prompter XL's display still connects via a single USB-C cable, so you have a nice and clean setup from your Prompter XL to your computer. Now, one key difference here is the cable included with Prompter XL is a USB 3.2 C to C cable versus the original Prompter's USB-C to USB-A USB 3.0 cable. The reason here is Prompter XL needs to be connected to a USB 3.2 USB-C port capable of 15-watt power output for powering the display, which isn't available on USB-A ports. So make sure you're using the USB-C to C cable that's included with Prompter XL. Now, if your computer doesn't have a USB-C port that can put out the 15 watts, what you can do is use a powered USB hub like the Corsair USB 100, which can provide additional power to Prompter XL's display. Prompter XL's display even has a hard power button because we know several people requested this type of feature after using our original prompter. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, when you press the power button, you're essentially disconnecting Prompter XL from your computer in terms of sensing it as a display. So this can rearrange some windows, so if you don't want that, just like with our normal prompter, you can always use the software power button in Camera Hub, which will essentially change the brightness of Prompter XL to 0 without affecting your windows. Next, let's go to the back of Prompter XL. Now you'll notice, with Prompter XL, we still have the backplates like our original prompter, but they're larger. The universal shroud backplate is simply larger, which allows for compatibility with larger cameras. But the ring backplate has a new design where the camera drops in from above versus coming up from below like our original prompter. Because this brings me to the final piece of Prompter XL, the camera bracket. So unlike Prompter, which for many setups has the prompter hanging off of a camera's lens, Prompter XL has every camera being mounted to its camera bracket. So if you're using the ring backplate, you install the corresponding size step-up ring you need onto your camera's lens, then you slide your lens down onto the ring backplate. Then you bring up your camera bracket and screw the 1/4-inch thumb screw into the camera to secure it to the bracket. Then you screw the other 1/4-inch thumb screw on the bracket to secure the bracket to Prompter XL. Now, jumping back to the back plates really quick, you might be wondering about the size of them and why they're different than the original Prompter. Well, with the shroud backplate, we did want to offer a larger shroud to support larger cameras. And while the ring backplate has the same size compatibilities as our original Prompter, having this larger backplate sizing gives you more options. Because with the larger opening, there are more opportunities for us to come out with new backplates if the need arises. Or if you're looking for a custom solution, you can always 3D print your own custom backplate. And this larger size gives you more possibilities. For example, in case you use cinema cameras or something that are just too large for the ring backplate or universal shroud to accommodate. We're excited to see what kind of creativity might pop up from users with this new backplate sizing. Now, going back to the camera bracket, with Prompter XL, we wanted to support more cameras and lenses. So the length of Prompter XL's camera bracket is twice that of our original Prompter. The reason being is, let's take this large 24 to 70mm lens here. On our regular Prompter, this lens on a mirrorless camera wouldn't fit on the camera bracket. Or let's say you have a particular lens which might fit on Prompter's bracket when fully zoomed out, but when you zoom in and the barrel extends, it's just too long overall and no longer fits. With these lenses, you would have the Prompter hang off of the lens and then everything would work fine. But with Prompter XL, remember, the camera is always going on the camera bracket. So we needed a camera bracket that can support more camera system lengths, as well as handling the weight. So the camera bracket is made out of a tough aerospace-grade aluminum and has no issues holding more weight as a result. And it supports a total length of 22 centimeters from the lens tip to your camera's 1/4-inch mounting thread compared to our original Prompter's 11 centimeters length. And you can get even more length if you use our universal shroud backplate, since your camera can go inside the Prompter a bit more as a result. And since we're on the subject of build quality, while Prompter XL externally might appear to have the same construction type as our original Prompter, there's a little extra sauce under the hood. Because with our regular Prompter, we utilize a fully plastic body in order to keep Prompter as light as possible, because one of the more common ways Prompter is used is it hanging off the lens of a camera. So you don't want a really heavy device which would put too much weight on your lens. However, with Prompter XL, it's not designed to be hung off a camera lens because no matter what, it's going to be a lot bigger and a lot heavier. So any camera you use on Prompter XL is going to be on the camera bracket. And with the larger hole to accommodate the larger backplates, we wanted to make sure that Prompter XL had sound construction. So underneath the plastic exterior lies a lightweight but strong metal skeleton to beef up Prompter XL, so you don't have to worry about it in your use. At the bottom of Prompter XL, we have both 1/4-inch and 3/8-inch thread mounts so you can mount your Prompter XL on a consumer or professional level tripods. Now we do recommend a proper tripod to hold the weight of Prompter XL and your camera. Prompter XL is not compatible with Elgato multi-mount, and we wouldn't recommend it with smaller or cheaper tripods like your typical Amazon Basics tripods. The last design feature I wanted to point out on Prompter XL is the cold shoe rail up top. Because instead of having two cold shoe mounts on either side like our original Prompter, Prompter XL has a rail that supports multiple devices being mounted in any position you want. You simply slide them on and screw them down to secure. Now that we've gone over the design of Prompter XL, let's discuss who this is for. Now, if you've already been using a Prompter, you probably already have an idea in your head of how you can take advantage of the larger size of Prompter XL. But if you're new to Prompters, you might be wondering if you need a Prompter XL or if you're good with a regular Prompter. Well, our original Prompter has a 9-inch display and was really designed for use at your desk, so about 30 to 36 inches away from where you sit. But with Prompter XL's 15.6-inch display, this means you can have Prompter XL much farther away. If you had a Prompter XL 60 inches or 5 feet away from you, it would perceptually be identical in size to our original Prompter being 36 inches away from you. So let's say your content is in a larger space where you need your camera farther away, like 10 to 15 feet. Or maybe you have two people on camera both reading from your Prompter. This extra size of Prompter XL makes that a possibility. Next, let's say you want your Prompter at your desk, but you want to treat it more as an extra display. So you can have room to do your office tasks when just using it as a normal monitor, and then if you need to hop on a Zoom call, it's ready to be used as such right away. Prompter XL's size makes it much more close to a full-size monitor, so it can be used for this purpose. I mean, 15.6 inches is basically the size of a larger laptop screen, so adding this to your setup is just as good as having a full-size monitor, but with that added benefit of being Zoom call ready. Our original prompter size is great for throwing on a window that's less task priority, such as throwing up a YouTube video on there, or a weather app, or something you aren't actively working on, but want to still have visible at a glance when you need it. And it's easier than ever to assemble window layouts on your Prompter XL or your prompter with our new Stream Deck plugin called Window Mover. With this plugin, you can create different window layouts on your prompter or Prompter XL, so whether you just want one app full screened, a 2 or 4 window split screen, or even a completely custom layout, you can do so with a single key press. So I think the main two use cases here are if you want to have your prompter farther away, or you want more room for activities when used at your desk, this is where Prompter XL might be right for you. But for most people, our original prompter is more than enough. So if you've never used a prompter before, it's likely our original prompter is the best one to start out with. But as your content grows and evolves, you might see the need arise for the larger size of Prompter XL. So when you need it, we got it here for you. Whether you're looking at either of our prompters, they both provide best-in-class experience versus the competition. Most of our competitors' teleprompters require smartphones or tablets to run software on, which can both be a cumbersome setup and also have a secret added cost of the tablet or phone in the whole prompter setup. And a lot of the times, the only good apps to run scripts on require expensive monthly subscriptions. And teleprompters with built-in displays are generally just found in the professional broadcasting world and can cost thousands of dollars. So with Prompter and Prompter XL, we have an included monitor that connects to your Mac or PC with a single USB cable, and we have our free software which lets you edit and display scripts to prompt on, or if you're a Twitch streamer, you can display your Twitch chat so you can talk with chat and maintain eye contact, or you can simply leave it on display mode to use your prompter as a secondary display where you can drag any window onto it. And the killer feature in our software is voice sync, which progresses the script as you read it. Traditional broadcasting teleprompters usually have a person dedicated to scrolling the teleprompting text to follow along with the talent as they read. And most of the iPad and iPhone teleprompting apps just scroll the script at a fixed rate, which can be problematic as some text passages require different reading speeds, so you can get tongue-tied pretty quickly using those. And the only other apps that have similar technology for voice-based script progression have those expensive subscription costs. With Elgato Prompter and Prompter XL, this is a completely free feature. So basically, with Prompter XL, we now have 2 sizes for you to choose from to fit your content. But no matter which prompter you choose, both will give you a best-in-class experience that will help you deliver your content to the world. Prompter XL is now available on Elgato.com. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit that like button and get subscribed to our YouTube channel so you can catch our latest videos and tutorials to learn how to unlock the full power of your Elgato products. Once again, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and until our next video, good luck and have fun.